There are moments when the line between life and death is razor thin, when logic, science, and probability say someone should be dead, and yet, somehow, they survive. Today, we're diving into 7 incredible real-life stories of people who faced the unthinkable and lived. No tricks, no miracles, just pure survival against all odds. From plane crashes and lightning strikes to whale attacks and resurrection after death, these cases will leave you speechless. Stick around until the end. The last story will challenge everything you believe about life and death. If you're fascinated by real-life stories that defy explanation, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's begin. In 1972, Vesna Vulovic, a flight attendant on a Yugoslav Airlines flight, was blown out of an aircraft mid-air after a bomb exploded on board. She fell 33,000 feet, over 10 kilometers, without a parachute. Most people would not survive a fall like that, but somehow Vesna did. She landed on a snowy, forested hillside. Her fall was broken by trees and a sloped surface. Every bone in her body was shattered. She was in a coma for 27 days. Doctors didn't expect her to survive. But not only did she recover, she lived for decades. Despite paralysis, she regained movement and even returned to work. Experts still can't fully explain how anyone could survive such a fall. Vesna Vulovic holds the Guinness World Record for the highest fall without a parachute. Her story isn't just survival. It's a challenge to what we thought was humanly possible.
In 2010, Sarah Mendelsohn was walking along train tracks in the UK when she tripped and fell just as a high-speed train was approaching. The train was traveling over 100 miles per hour. Witnesses assumed she was instantly killed. But when emergency crews arrived, they were stunned. Sarah was conscious, bruised but alive. The train had struck her and thrown her body over 20 feet. Yet somehow she had no broken bones. No internal bleeding, just minor injuries. Doctors were baffled. There was no medical explanation. She became known as the miracle on the tracks. What saved her? The angle? The position she landed in? Luck? Even now, it's a mystery. But one thing's certain, she walked away from something no one is supposed to survive. Her story remains one of the most baffling survival cases ever recorded.
During World War II, Simo Hayha, a Finnish sniper, was known as the deadliest marksman in history. But in March 1940, he was hit in the face by an explosive round. The bullet tore off half of his jaw and shattered his cheekbone. His fellow soldiers thought he was dead. He lay in a coma for days. But against all odds, he woke up. Simo endured brutal surgeries without modern anesthesia. The damage to his face was severe, but he survived. And what's even more incredible, after the war, he returned to his quiet life of farming and lived until the age of 96. He never sought fame, yet his story has echoed through history. He wasn't just a sniper. He was a symbol of unbreakable resilience. Surviving a shot to the head would end most lives. For Simo Hayha, it was just another chapter.
In 2015, 17-year-old Zach Clements collapsed during a school run in Texas. His heart had stopped for 20 minutes. Paramedics worked on him for another 10. He was declared clinically dead. And then his heart started beating again. Doctors rushed him to the hospital, but no one could explain how he had come back. When Zach woke up, he had no brain damage, no lasting injuries. And he remembered something. He said he saw a man with long hair and a beard. "I knew it was Jesus," he told reporters. Zach's story sparked worldwide attention. Some call it a miracle, others a medical anomaly. But whatever you believe, Zach Clements came back from the dead. And he's still alive to tell the story. In 2021, Michael Packard, a professional lobster diver, was diving off the coast of Cape Cod when everything suddenly went black. He had been swallowed by a humpback whale. Inside the whale's mouth, he couldn't move. He felt pressure everywhere. He thought, "This is how I die." But after 30 terrifying seconds, the whale surfaced and spat him out. Michael was rescued by his crew and taken to the hospital. His injuries? A few bruises and a dislocated knee. Whale experts say this kind of encounter is almost unheard of. Humpbacks aren't aggressive toward humans. It's believed the whale accidentally scooped him up while feeding and realized its mistake. Michael's survival wasn't just rare. It was almost impossible. He faced one of nature's most powerful creatures and walked away to tell the tale. In 2013, Harrison O'Keefe, a ship's cook from Nigeria, experienced something almost no one has lived to tell. His vessel capsized 100 feet below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. Everyone on board was presumed dead, but Harrison was still alive, trapped alone in total darkness inside a tiny air pocket. For 3 days, he floated in freezing cold water. No food, no light, just the sound of creaking metal and the pressure of the deep. He recited psalms. He prayed. He waited. Rescue divers were sent down, not expecting to find anyone alive. Then a hand reached out. Harrison was alive, coherent, breathing off the thin layer of oxygen in the chamber. Experts say it was nearly impossible. The carbon dioxide, temperature, and pressure should have killed him. But somehow he made it. Harrison O'Keefe is known today as the man who survived underwater for 3 days. And his story remains one of the greatest real-life survival miracles ever recorded.
Dr. Marion Cooper is one of the world's top lightning experts, and she's lived through what most never do. She's been struck by lightning twice. The first time, it knocked her unconscious and caused temporary paralysis. The second strike caused nerve damage and lasting hearing issues. But instead of fear, she turned to science. She dedicated her life to studying lightning, writing safety guidelines, and training thousands of emergency responders. Most don't survive one strike. She survived 2 and used it to fuel a mission that saved lives around the world. Some call her lucky, others say it was fate. But Dr. Cooper is proof that even nature's deadliest force couldn't stop a woman on a mission.
These were not just survival stories. They were stories of grit, resilience, and the human spirit refusing to quit, even when death seemed certain. From falling 33,000 feet to being swallowed by a whale, each one proves something powerful. The impossible can happen. So, which one left you speechless? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more true stories that challenge belief, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Stay curious, stay inspired, and most of all, stay alive.